Hello, everyone. This is exciting. My name is Mark Freeman, Head of Business Development at SecuredTouch. This is Tal Cohen, Head of Professional Services. SecuredTouch is an Israeli company based in Tel Aviv, and we've recently opened our first office in the US, based here in New York. However, I'm Scottish, and I like to mention that at the beginning, just so you can concentrate on what I'm saying and not try and work out what this accent is. SecuredTouch was founded in 2015, focusing on behavioral biometrics and specializing in mobile. The vast majority of users, good users, about 98%, are like you and me, logging into our own banking apps, into our own accounts, not thinking any fraudulent thoughts. The vast majority of fraud is carried out by automated tools that have been designed to bypass many of the fraud detection methods, and this is how such a small amount of fraudsters can cause so much damage. So the question is, how does behavioral biometrics catch fraud that other methods miss? Okay. So we, SecuredTouch, provide continuous and frictionless authentication for the good user, removing the burden of authentication from the good user by understanding behavior. And this understanding of behavior allows us to identify these fraudulent tools, because the way these fraudulent tools interact with your phone or computer is different from the way a human interacts with the phone or the computer. Okay. So first of all, we're going to show you behavioral biometrics in action on a real human being, me. So I'm going to log into the Secure Bank app.
Okay. Here you can see Mark using Secure Bank app. He's checking his balance and going to make a transaction. On the screen, you can see how Mark's behavior appears on the touch screen. The way Mark swipes, taps, and holds his phone is unique to him and matches biometric profile. As you can see, Mark has been authenticated continuously through the whole process.
Okay, so that was a human being authenticated, and now we're going to talk about bots and how they're used to commit fraud. So if a fraudster wants to commit fraud, they can acquire a list of credentials, usernames, and passwords from the darknet. But the question is, how do they check which of the credentials are still valid? Because if the fraudster has to manually type in every username and password, it's not going to be very efficient in terms of making some money. So the solution is to automate the process, and a bot does this. And this type of fraud is called credential stuffing. Here, and we'll just wait a second, there it is. Here, Tal is using a bot to automatically enter in all of the stolen credentials from the list. And you can see that using this tool, we can find the credentials that still work. This method is also used to check stolen credit card details, gift card details with the same aim. Okay, so once we have found the valid credentials, we still need to enter into the account, and this is called account takeover, and transfer money. And this is also carried out with a bot. Okay, so here you can see the bot logged into the account and starting to navigate and browse. I'm not touching the screen. And you can see the heat map reacting to the bot's activity. You can see that the lines are perfectly straight, as opposed to the behavior that I showed in the heat map. And that we've identified this as non-human behavior and raised a red flag.
Now, how does this work? At the beginning of every session, SecuredTouch collects over 100 different parameters derived from the touchscreen, gyroscope, and accelerometer on your phone, or keyboard and mouse on your computer, and use this data in order to identify the user, whether he is a human, bot, virtual machine, or fraudster. SecuredTouch algorithms based on behavioral biometrics are able to detect fraudulent activity pre-transaction by analyzing the way the user interacts with the device. The algorithms are looking for a deviation from the biometric profile of the user, and in case of strong deviation, will flag it by type. By analyzing the very behavior occurring on the device, we can detect fraudulent activity that is bypassing traditional methods such as rule-based system and transaction monitoring systems.
Okay, so we have shown how it's possible to authenticate a good user seamlessly and without friction by understanding their behavior. And we can take this understanding of behavior to differentiate between human and non-human. Using the same data and technology, we can differentiate between real person using a real device versus automated tools such as a bot and a fake device emulator. Okay? As I mentioned earlier, we have separated the authentication of the good user from the fight against the fraudster, and we use both groups' behavior separately to identify them. In this way, we can catch the bad user without punishing the good user and allow the good user a much smoother user experience. We'll be happy to see you at our booth. Come and try our technology, do some sessions, and vote for us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.